So we're at Hollywood Studios now, and they're about to do a Cowboy Parade. So I'm gonna hop up on the sidewalk over here. I'm gonna follow around. Ooh. Get you a little centered here. There we go. Anyway, it's a little crisp. It's about 60 degrees right now, and I'm gonna wander over Main Street. I don't know what they call it, Hollywood and Vine. But anyway, there's a number of people here. A little bit of time to get in. Parking this morning, it's a little unusual. It's like going to the supermarket. You can never predict if your line is going to be fast or slow. And lucky me, I picked the slow line. I think, you just get to enjoy seeing all the other people in line a little bit more, but I wish it was better than that. I have a little trouble with you today. Here we go. Well, I don't see the cavalcade yet, so it's probably... I usually reserve going on the rides from when Tiger's with me. So you can see the cavalcade down there is Mr. and you got their Monsters Inc. That's Sully and Woody, a couple cars. I personally, I'm not a big fan of the cavalcades. I mean, they should just have a parade, right? Have a parade, and then you get to see something really worthwhile. I think people get too excited for cavalcades or a meet and greet with a character that you cannot touch. You can't hug. I don't understand that. To me, it's kind of cruel. For Tiger, he loves to give hugs. I mean, one of our designs that we said, Autistic Tiger loves to hug, but can't give hugs at Disney. But then you see cast members and stuff like that hugging people, and then you say, oh, it's just a lot of... This is the Disney Junior dance party area, and they've got these drops set up here, and you can take your photo, but you got to stand behind those plants. Can't go any closer than those plants. So if you want to take a photo, just you and your kid, this isn't so bad. But when the characters come out, then you're kind of at a loss, because they're going to want to, they're going to want to hug the character, and they can't. So, like I said, I don't understand that. Never going to understand it. Do you think a character that's in a costume would be pretty well protected? If it's a face character, it's a little different, but not too much different. So we may wander in a couple places. Like Tiger loves the Disney Museum up here, so we might wander into that. This is the Little Mermaid show. They haven't had it for a while, since COVID hit. And I wish they would. Tiger keeps asking to go to Little Mermaid, and he can't go. We've never seen the Little Mermaid show. He does watch it on Disney Plus, the live version. He watches that, and then he'll watch the cartoon right afterwards. And so when he does stuff like that, then we have him draw pictures. I've been advised that Verizon should be adequate for carrier. And oh, if we're lucky today, we're going to meet a couple of the guest services people who are big fans of tigers. So if you're watching this, I want you to click that red button that says subscribe. Subscribe to the Autistic Tiger. Show Tiger your love. Tiger is by far the best 9-year-old artist in the world. He can draw any cartoon character. We've just started drawing caricatures. Got a couple books. Got one by Mad Magazine artist and highly recommended. It's pretty complex, so that one's going to take us a while. And we're not going to go into as much detail because he goes into shading and whatnot, which shading and blending is one of the things Tiger has the most difficulty with. We're interested now in just having him draw a black and white caricature that will capture the likeness and be representative, that people can look at and say, yeah, that is a caricature. That is whoever we tried to draw. If he can do that, and I think Tiger's going to be just fine. I got him was in faces. It has hundreds of cartoon faces that we can draw, and it shows the faces in various stages of development. And he will pick up on drawing cartoon faces as opposed to cartoon characters. The whole goal of this exercise is for him to look at a real person and be able to break it down as if they are a cartoon character. Not only is this a useful skill when he gets older, that he can draw caricatures for money, it would be very helpful for him to make friends, to be able to sketch somebody's portrait. I had a friend in high school who he could play the piano. I didn't know it. I didn't know it one time. We were in the band room, had time to kill. There's a bunch of people there. He sits down at the piano and he starts playing, old-timey songs you might hear in a bar. And he was the life of the party. And I thought, oh my gosh, I wish I had a skill like that. That would just endear me to people immediately. Now, as I walked up here to Slinky, the time said 80 minutes. I've never waited in the standby line here, so I cannot give you any kind of feedback as to whether that's realistic or not. But this is, well, here it says 70 minutes now. So the line on the lightning lane, I guess the line on the left is standby. The line on the right is lightning lane. And we're gonna watch Slinky come by here in just a minute. Assuming the trains are running. Oh, we've got a little bit of glare. But you can see Slinky there. There we go. There we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And he's off. Don't worry, Slinky's going to come back here in just a second. There we go. There's Slinky Dog. So is this ride worth waiting 70 minutes? I don't think so. I'm biased.
Really?
Now with a 70-minute wait time, that would mean if Tiger got DAS, they would have him wait 60 minutes. And that 60 minutes to get into this line. So however long this line is, I see a gentleman over there in a hat, a white shirt and a hat. He's the end of the line. I don't know if I can jump over there and show you the end of the landing lane. So when you book DAS, they give you a 10-minute break on the return time. But that assumes a lot of factors. Okay, it's just off this posted time. So is that posted time correct? I don't think they are. And people might say on average they are, but the problem is with DAS and the ADA, that's American ones, it has to be right every time. Not sometimes, always. So this is the lightning lane right here. And so if they post 70 minutes, then it means Tiger or any other DAS person should not wait longer than 70 minutes, because that's what everybody else has to wait. But the problem is that wait time correct? So then they come up here, this is the merge, and then they have to wait in this. So Tiger will wait 60 minutes plus whatever the time to get to the merge, plus whatever time to get on the ride. And per the ADA, that can exceed what an able-bodied person will take to ride the ride, waiting in line. So the study I've not seen and I have not done yet, but soon I'm sure there's going to be something I'm going to do on this, where I will come here with Tiger and his mom, and we will do a test, and we will book a return time at the same time I get on in the standby line. And I think Seven Doors Mine Train is a good choice. I saw another blogger do the Space Mountain in Disneyland, and the posted time was 130 minutes, and it only took 80 minutes in the standby line. And he just raved about how fast that standby line went. It was better than the posted time. And I tried to explain to him, you know, that might be fine and dandy for you, but you're illustrating that that's an ADA violation. And in ADA violations, you don't get to say, hey, on average, the posted time is about the actual wait time. That's not how it works. You have to show one time that they violated the ADA, which means basically that they treated able-bodied and disabled people differently. So that's the only question we have to answer. Did they treat able-bodied people and disabled people differently? And you only have to show one time. Okay? And you can't say, well, 99% of the time we don't. You only have to show one time you didn't. And this is something that is easily demonstrable. Some rides are worse than others. For instance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, the merge point is really far back. So once you hit the merge, then you gotta wait in a 3 or 4 lane SQ with the combined line, you know, before you get on the ride. So if that pre-show, you know, if the time after the queue is, say, 20 minutes, and their posted time is 60 minutes, it means they're telling people it's only going to be 40 minutes to get to the merge. But if they make Tiger wait 60 minus 10 or 50 minutes to get in the landing lane for DAS, and then he has to wait another 20. Well, now Tiger, the line didn't move very fast, and they separate you into groups, and then they put your groups into a holding pen, and then after that you finally get on the ride. So everything I mentioned from the merge to you get on the ride, you have to back out of the wait time. Oh, here's some stormtroopers here in Star Wars Land. I'm sure they call this some other thing. To me, it's always Star Wars Land.
You know, those people just like sit there for fun. They're after those people.
I like this little merch shop over here. The workers here have always been very nice. I also like that it's not very big and crowded. I'm not sure I want to put my mask on to wander in there. Well, I'll stand back here. Here's some people with some very cute looking, look like custom made dresses. Look like they're sock hoppers from the 50s almost. They need some saddle shoes. Get your Star Wars merch. So Rise of the Resistance is the big offender as far as DAS. Now I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. This is where the transport bus for the Disney, the Star Wars hotel is going to drop people off. This is Docking Bay or whatever they're going to call it. Does that look like something special? You know, I saw this and I wondered, what's up with all the conduit, especially this bright silver conduit they have.
What are you picking up on that thing, man? Anything interesting?
Oh no, you can probably see the silver conduit on the wall. It's not, some of it's A, some is not A. This is where the Star Wars hotel bus is going to drop people off.
Oh.
So if you stay in that fancy hotel, they're going to put you in a dorky bus and,
Nice.
and drop you off here. And then they're even telling people when they're going to drop people off. So I decided, you know, we should just come over at whatever time and just kind of crash them. I mean,
Like today?
no, not today, not today. No,
Okay,
the official.
Really cool. That's awesome.
DJ, right?
Yeah, these are not that expensive, like $150. They take a little bit of practice. They got a new one that come out that was like $400, but this doesn't have a storage for the tripod, so it's got an extra battery, and it's a little heavier. The new one basically has less battery and a spot to put this tripod, and you can even extend it up like a selfie stick, which, you know, technically selfie sticks are banned here, but I don't seem to enforce that ban. There's a lot of rules they don't seem to enforce here.
Like what else?
Well, the stroller size, the size of people's scooters, and the wagons. You're only supposed to have them a certain size, and we've seen people with offending things that don't do anything. I really wish they'd get rid of the motorized scooters. And the reason is most of the people that get them, they don't ride them normally. They don't have any practice. And my son Tiger is autistic. That's why we're the Autistic Tiger. He's a really good artist. Anyway, when we come here, I've seen people get annoyed with him that he's not getting out of the way when they say get out of the way and take aim at him, you know?
Right.
And yeah. We took him there. We took him the first day. If you go to, I found this on the ground. I don't know if that belongs to you. How many 9-year-old kids have their own?
Is this your son?
Oh yeah, he's big on YouTube. Anyway, we went there and I introduced some artists and stuff like that. We didn't buy a Figment bucket. We drew it. But we made fun of all the people getting in line for that. But we really? When'd you go? Saturday? On Friday? Yeah, we were there 2 days ago, and they still had some buckets, but you know, not our thing.
Yeah, people are selling them on recording.
Well,
It's like,
they can ask for it. Asking and getting are two different things. Well, some people are gonna.
We heard Disney's like revoking people's annual passes. So like if you're an annual pass holder and you're selling them for that, like they'll find out and they'll revoke your.
Well, they can. They issued something about resellers, and that's why they limited it to 2. But they also said, well.
Does it bring your kids?
We went, I know, yeah, they brought their kids and their whole family. We planned to go there with cash, like a big stack of cash, and say, sell us your bucket. Who's going to sell me their bucket? But we didn't. Well, we didn't do it. We're just making a, video, but we didn't do it. We thought drawing the character would be enough. And we actually went there on Monday to get Tiger a teacher because we live in Celebration and we've been trying to get him a teacher for a long time. He did have one last spring, and then that business decided not to do in-person private lessons. Since he's autistic, he can't do it over the internet. And so we've been looking for a teacher ever since, and we knew of teacher in Sanford who really liked Tiger, really was interested, but then she got kind of queasy when she found out he did Disney characters. I say he's a little kid, what else is he supposed to draw? And she's like, well, I'm a Disney artist. I'm not allowed to draw Disney characters. I say he needs foundational drawing. He needs to know how to draw parallel lines and symmetry and circles and squares. So we ambushed her. We ambushed her on Monday because she was doing her chalk drawings. Yeah, and she was drawing Mickey Mouse and Pluto, so I pulled out Tiger's Mickey Mouse and Pluto drawing and started showing it to everybody. And I said, who did it better? Who did it better? The little kid or the old lady? And the old lady said, you better say the little kid. And then she saw Tiger, and he's wearing a Tigger costume. And she's like, oh, look at that Tigger. I said, his name is Tiger. And she said, Tiger. That Tiger. And then she said, did you find a teacher? I said no, and she looked at his pictures and she said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, but she's in Sanford, which is an hour away. Yeah, but we're trying to introduce him to all the artists. We want him in the Festival of the Arts.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I mean, he drew the tiger that we used for this, and if I wasn't using my phone, I could. There's a QR code on the back of that that'll take you to his YouTube. He's on TikTok, he's everywhere. But he draws extremely well for his age. He's going to be at VillaCon this weekend. Are you local?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's his logo. He was on the news here in February last year. And I thought, well, if he's going to be on the news, we better make a YouTube channel. And then you make a YouTube channel, you need a logo. So I just took one of his tiger drawings that he does, and I made this logo out of it. And then a friend of mine said, that's really good. You should have a professional clean it up. And that's what came out. But we got plushies. We got all kinds of plushies of his tiger. Oh, wow. People go crazy for him.
We'll definitely subscribe to your channel.
Okay.
It was so nice meeting you.
All right. Y'all take care. So this is Batu, what I call Star Wars land. And they're just selling stuff. I hate being in the sun. Let's go into the shade. Oi. There we go. That's so much better. Now, we have never been into any of the restaurants or bars or anything like that here to eat. We met a worker at Oga's Cantina who said, if I ever bring Tiger by, he'll get us in. And I brought him by one time and he wasn't working. And they have more than one person working here with that name. But one day we will go to Oga's Cantina. I can order quick service at a number of places here. Usually when we go to Ronto Roasters, it is too late in the day. They've already closed. So we just go there and sit down because it's a really cool place to hang out and sit. I still got some of the robots going. And oh my gosh, what's this line for? So whenever you see these guys in the fancy blue suit with that fancy vest, they are a tour guide and they're getting paid $600, not the worker, but Disney, $600 an hour to take you on a private tour. And if you can afford it, it's not a bad deal. Hence the word afford. If you're going to spend $6,000 in a day for a tour guide, here's Ray. We're going to go over here and check out Ray. She's looking tough today. Let's get out of the sun. Hi, Ray, can you smile? Can you smile? You're not allowed? But it's a bright, beautiful day. Look at this blue sky. Uh-huh. Well, she's dressed for the cold weather. You should be rocking some shorts and sandals. You should have some shorts and sandals on. Where's your Crocs? One time here at Hollywood when they had the Disney Plus Day, I ran into Darth Vader. And I didn't know it was a big deal. I took a couple pictures with Darth Vader, sent them to my wife, and and then I had other people go, "Oh my God, you saw Darth Vader, you should have filmed it, blah, blah." And I thought, why is Darth Vader being in Star Wars land unusual? To me, that should be the norm. Because for years when we go to Disneyland, lightsaber training, and at the end of it, your little kid got to fight Darth and kill Darth Vader. So I guess I don't understand why they don't have Darth Vader here. If they could have Darth Vader at Disneyland and Tomorrowland, there should be Darth Vader roaming around here. Now we are in Ronto Roasters, and this is where we like to sit. This is always open in the evening, but I've never eaten here, and I want to. They've got wraps here, but I mean, I'm gonna pan up because the theming here is just outrageous. It's outrageous. I just love this. I just love the theming here. This whole, gotta get control of my gimbal here. To me, the theming here is outrageous. I've had people say, you know, it could be better, blah, blah, blah. This is the best themed land. I think it's better than Harry Potter land. And they got a lot of, just a little refreshment stand. They've got souvenir stands. If you come over here, you can buy some Star Wars clothes. I mean, who doesn't need one of these? Let's see what these cost, these robes. It could be like Ben Kenobi. It says $100. For $100, you could dress like Obi-Wan Kenobi or a Jawa, I guess. And here's these little plushies. I want to see Tiger's plushie here at some point. I'm going to show you this little tiny plushie. I mean, it's tiny. It's only about 6-7 inches. It is $23. So you can get Tiger's plushie if you see him in person, $25. On Amazon, it's $30, but that's free shipping. And this is more plushies. Tiger likes to come here and play. They've got these animatronic plushies here that he likes to play with. And there's a couple more animatronic plushies in the shop. Oops. What's going on? My gimbal is having an issue. Let's see, it's coming back around. All right. Coming back around. Oh, there's a guy with an owl. There you go, it's Joel. Hey Joel, have you ever heard of the Autistic Tiger?
I have not.
You have not? Well, you got to check out the Autistic Tiger. It's my son Tiger. He's 9 years old. He is an unbelievable artist. He drew the tiger we have on our logo. And he is a really cool plushie too. Oh, we hope you'll see it here for sale at some point. And he lives in Celebration, and he would love to have a hand puppet. He loves to do puppets all the time, and for years play with his puppets and sing songs with him. He's not very verbal, but you give him puppets and he just starts chatting up a storm.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, does he have a website?
It's TheAutisticTiger.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll check it out. What do you think?
Yeah, all his links are on TheAutisticTiger.com, but you go to YouTube, he's The Autistic Tiger, you know, Instagram, TikTok, The Autistic Tiger, you'll find him.
Well, we'll have to check it out, huh?
Yeah, check it out.
All right.
Bye, Joel. I'm not sure what this monolith is for. I haven't seen any plaque or anything to tell you what it is, other than it's this seating area here in the little market area. Come on, gimbal, catch up. All right, so here's the deal. If I swing too fast, it's not happy. All right, let's get that thing locked. And we'll wander over to the most offending ADA line at Hollywood Studios. So I want you all to know that we've been using DAS for a long time, and we really appreciate it. Back when my other boy was 3, we noted how disabled people were gathering large groups of people and going in the exit line because they didn't have a lightning lane at that time. And they weren't going in the fast pass line, they were going in the exit line and getting run on a ride. And even South Park did an episode where they made light of this fact with Cartman. And I read stories about people who were advertising at Craigslist to be your private tour guide and get you on all the rides. Now, I mentioned earlier that Disney sells a tour guide for $600 an hour that'll get you to the front of all the lines. So if that's what they're charging, and you're charging people to be a private tour guide because you're disabled, you're stealing from Disney. You're directly competing with them. So I understand why they're upset. There was a lawsuit at some point, and I don't know what happened to it. But a disabled person was suing to get rid of DAS and to get the old system back in where the disabled people just walked up. This is right in the exit of Rise of the Resistance. If you were going to try to find the people who are at the Star Wars Hotel, hang out right here. You can buy one of these space helmets. Let me see if I see one with a tag. This one says $60. $60 you get, and you can only buy 2. You can only buy 2. I don't know why anybody want one, but you only get 2. So, see that guy in the shirt? Where's your group, Sam? Any minute they're going to come out. So he's waiting for his people to come out of Rise of the Resistance. So anyway, like I said, we love DAS. It was much better than what was happening before. At Disneyland, you had to go to a ride or to a guest services to get a return time. And that was difficult. And when we came to Disney World, you could only get a return time. It was on a card, and you had to go to the ride. And the problem with that is, if I have Tiger and I walk to the Haunted Mansion, he thinks we're going on Haunted Mansion. And he is not going to want to say, okay, we'll come back in 30 minutes. That doesn't work with Tiger. And for other people, it might work. If you're in a wheelchair or something, that might work. But actually, DAS is not in a wheelchair, so people can't wait in line. Now, if you're in a wheelchair, they will give you a return time if you are DAS. But you are not part of DAS. Disability Assist Services is only for people who cannot weather the regular line. And I don't know if this has got to be a standby line. You know, I didn't check the wait time. Let's go back and check the wait time. So, DAS is not for people in wheelchairs or scooters, like this gentleman in a scooter, or me when I have my rollator. But they will give me a return time nonetheless. It's for people I don't want to break the rules. Let me get over here to the entrance and check the return time. Are we live? There we go. Are we live? There we go. All right, we're back. So that was my brother. He called me from California, and he wants to talk some business. So we're going to talk when I get back to the house. He's a kindergarten teacher in California. So is his wife. All right, so we're out of Star Wars land. So I was talking about DAS. So we, like I said, love DAS, but we want it to be fair. That's all we've ever asked for, is that whatever they have, it's fair to Tiger. And right now, there are some aspects of DAS that are not fair. We do not feel it's fair. That's really bright that direction, so we'll go this way. No Muppets today. We don't think it's fair for Tiger to wait longer than an able-bodied person. You know, we don't want Tiger to get a break either. I think if the wait to get on the ride for a normal person is an hour, then Tiger should wait an hour. That's fair. But the wait times that they post, they're arbitrary and capricious. They're made up. They could be guesstimates. They could be targets. You know, why would the return time be a target? And that has a lot to do with Genie Plus, because they want people to get out of the standby line and get into the Genie Plus line that people are paying for. So how do they do that? Well, what if you stop letting people in the standby line, or letting them get on the ride in the standby line, and you make the standby line artificially increase to an hour, or sometimes 2 hours, like in the example on Space Mountain. You artificially inflate that wait time to discourage people from getting in the line, a standby line, and encourage them to book Genie Plus. And then people might say, well, the number of people who can buy Genie Plus in any hour is fixed. Is it? That's a good question. Is it fixed? Is it fixed for every ride? Is it the same number for every ride every day? Or is it fluid and dynamic depending upon what Disney feels the market for Genie Plus will be on any given day? So if they're looking as to how to maximize their Genie Plus dollars, and they do that by putting in artificial standby times, posted standby times. You know, they tell you don't make any purchase decision based upon a posted standby time. They tell you that. Unfortunately, for people like us with DAS, we've already made that purchase decision. Okay, we're not making an additional purchase decision, but we have already made the purchase decision. Like, we bought annual passes. And with that annual pass comes DAS. Okay, everybody gets opportunity to use DAS. And you say, well, why is this an ADA violation? Because they're manipulating the wait times. And they're not what they should be. Now, Disney might say, well, we have no idea of knowing exactly what the wait time is. And I've had cast members, and we're just trying to guess at what the wait time will be. But they know what the wait time is all the time, every day. Anytime of day. They know the wait time. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. People in Magic Kingdom or Disney World are wearing magic bands. Has an RFID chip. And they've got RFID scanners all over this park. I mean, I don't know if you can see up there on top of that primetime TV, there's a Spanish roof and you can see some, I don't know how to zoom in on this. But anyway, there's some antennas up there. You ever go on a ride and they say, "How you doing, Jenny or David or whoever?" How did they know you were on the ride? Well, they got these RFID scanners. If you go on Aerosmith, name on a poster. "How you doing? Welcome to the ride." And they've got these scanners everywhere in the parks. Now, they don't just scan your magic bands, they scan your, if you have an annual pass, they'll scan that ticket. There's an RFID chip in it. That's how come you can tap all over. If you buy a ticket, they will give you one with a chip in it. Okay? So they know where you are. They know who you are. They know all your information. I mean, if you're worried about Facebook tracking you, Disney's tracking you.
Yeah, that's good.
But you know, it's something you sign up for. Tracking who's using the app. And they know where everybody is. And if I were them, I would manipulate wait times to move people around the parks. So if I saw an area of the park with high density of people, I would want to move them to an area of low density. And how do you do that? Well, you lower the wait time posted for a ride and you blast it out to everybody. And everybody says, "Oh my gosh, Rise of the Resistance is only 15 minutes. And next thing you know, everybody's in Star Wars land. And when they get there, the wait time might jump up to 100 minutes. And you was only 15, but it went back up. By that time, everybody's over there. Not only did everybody go over there, but they walked by all the shops and restaurants on the way to get over there. So it's a way for them to advertise their restaurants. Because when you're in line or on a ride, you are not shopping for anything. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to shop. The other thing about moving people from high density to low density is if a shop is too full, you can't buy anything. You can't shop. If the wait time to check out is too long, you're going to put that plushie down and leave. If there's too many people in the store, you can't see the items you want to buy. You're not going to buy anything. You're going to leave. And they know that. So they'll send you to an area of the park that doesn't have as many people. And it's the same thing for restaurants. They'll send you to an area that has less concentration of people. So you can buy something to eat, sit down and eat. Whereas if you're at an area where the quick service concentration is too much, and you can't find a table. For instance, if you go to Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land, you'll never find a place to sit. If it's food time, you're never going to find a place to sit. And that was our complaint when the thing first opened. People were just hanging out there. And they didn't have nearly enough seating, and there was no cover. Here's Biddy and the Beast live show. I love it. Tiger loves it. They're advertising Fantasmic up here. So the question is, when are they going to start Fantasmic? They're advertising it right here. I've never seen that sign up. So WDWNT has not promoted that sign. So let me stay here and get a good picture. There we go. There we go. So up ahead is a Hollywood Hotel, as we call it. Oops. California, it's not the Hollywood Hotel anymore, but we still call it that. And here is Aerosmith. There's Aerosmith. So they're going to move you around the parks to the places that have a lower density, and you're more likely to be able to spend money. Not that you will chance. And they do this by manipulating wait times. And they're choosing this. Now, because everybody has an RFID chip or is otherwise scannable, they know instantaneously how long the wait time is. I mean, they don't have to calculate it. I mean, they just know they have this data. You think they're tracking you around here? Crazy. And we accept it. All we ask is that they're fair. Okay? They're fair to a 3-year-old, or they're fair to an autistic boy. Because the autistic boy doesn't understand, come back in 80 minutes for the ride he wants to go on. And he has difficulty waiting in a line. There's 80 minutes. That's not fair. Now, Tiger's only had one meltdown, and they'll last forever at Disney, and that was a few months ago. We were in Star Wars Land, we went on Rise of the Resistance, and he took some photos, and he was a little overwhelmed with Star Wars. And so he had a meltdown in Millennium Falcon. Now, we weren't going to actually ride the ride. We were just going to go have him draw. But he had had enough of Star Wars. And we thought to ourselves, why did Tiger have a meltdown? Because he's not prone to meltdowns. I mean, it can happen, but there's got to be a really good reason why he had a meltdown. And we finally figured out that on the Rise of the Resistance ride, there are actual robots chasing you, hunting you, trying to shoot you and kill you. And it's not a ride for little kids. I know Tiger's 9, but he's still a little kid inside. He still has that magic. He's still into Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, and he's probably going to be that way maybe forever. He's got this childlike innocence about him that is magical and captivating, but at the same time it's scary, and you know, we're very protective of Tiger for that reason. You know, we do push Tiger out into the spotlight because we're worried about what's going to happen to him when he's 18. We've had some people tell us that we shouldn't do that. I said, what am I supposed to do? Lock him in a closet forever? That's not going to happen. I think that would be worse. So he has a gift, and we're trying to share it with everybody. And people can decide if they enjoy his gift and they want to support Tiger, then they'll support Tiger. And if they don't support his gift, if they don't, you know, buy into his story, then they won't. So Disney is manipulating wait times, posted wait times on these rides. And they're doing it to maximize their money. And I say that violates the ADA, and I can prove it. And it's one of the things that was, you're lying and I can prove it. Well, this violates the ADA and I can prove it. And we may be talking to lawyers sometime, file a suit, and get things changed. What we want is that Tiger waits the same time as everybody else. Okay? So they can do better. Now you might say, if we file suit, then they're going to get rid of the DAS system. Yeah, they could. And that would be perfectly fine with us. They can get rid of the DAS system. But Disney's not going to get rid of DAS. And you think to yourself, why? Why wouldn't they get rid of DAS? And the reason is simple. What else are they going to do? Are they going to tell all the disabled people, get in the regular line with everybody else? Because they can't. And you say, why? So, well, some of these lines aren't really designed for wheelchairs. Or they're going to have people like Tiger might have a meltdown in the middle of a line. Now, you've seen these lines. Some of them have really tight, aisles that go back and forth. Some of them they've put plastic barriers, and some of them they haven't. I've never understood this. If you go on the little Nemo ride at Epcot, some of the switchbacks have barriers and some of them don't. Well, wouldn't common sense say if you need it here, you need it everywhere? I don't understand, but you're not getting a wheelchair through those, and two, those switchbacks with the very claustrophobic, and Tiger doesn't like them. And if he had to wait in a line for an hour with all those switchbacks, he would not be happy, and it wouldn't make anybody else happy. So it's going to ruin the guest experience for everybody if they get rid of DAS. So they're not going to get rid of DAS. They're not going back to the old system where you've got the people in wheelchairs going in the exit line and going to the front of the line like Cartman. That ain't coming back. So Disney's in a rock and a hard place. If they fight the lawsuit, I don't know. If they settle it, they're going to have to make some concessions to get somebody to settle, because if I bring a suit, it's not for money. Just want them to treat Tiger the same as everybody else. Treat everybody who has DAS the same as a regular guest. Okay? And I fully understand the irony of saying Tiger is not the same. But everybody's different. Everybody has their things that are different about them. And some of them are protected and some of them aren't. And the thing that is different about Tiger is protected. There are lots of protected classes based upon race or sex or religion. If Disney was treating people differently based upon any of those other protected classes, how would you feel? Would you feel that's right? If they said African Americans have to wait 10 minutes longer, would you be happy with that? Would you say, well, on average they don't, but sometimes they wait longer? Would you be okay with that? If they said Catholic people have to wait an extra 10 minutes or 20 minutes for a ride, sometimes but not always, would that be okay with you? Would that be okay? If they did the same thing for vax status, if they said people who are vaxxed get on the ride quicker than people who aren't vaxxed. I mean, you're all in the park, you all paid the same price. Okay? Now, being vaxxed or not, I don't think is a protected class at this time, but look for that to change. But it is, I think everybody can agree that we shouldn't treat people in a protected class differently than we treat the majority of people. But right now, Disney is treating DAS people differently, negatively differently. Now, you can treat a protected class better than normal people. That's allowed. But you can't treat a protected class worse than normal people. And like I said, I don't need to prove that this happens all the time. I only have to prove it happens once. Now, where we're from in California, Eureka, they had a Wendy's restaurant, and the Wendy's really bad connection here. Yes. Wow. Come on, come back. Come back. All right, I got you. It seemed like the connection's really bad by Disney Junior, so we're gonna bug out of here. I might head into the museum for a bit. We've been going for almost an hour now. So you have to treat protected classes as good or better than non-protected classes. And I don't have to prove it every time, I just have to prove it once. It's strict liability. And that's like speeding on the freeway. It doesn't matter why you were speeding. If you're speeding, you are guilty of speeding. Now, you may not get a ticket because it's discretionary if the officer wants to give you a ticket, but it doesn't mean you're not breaking the law. The law doesn't care why you were speeding. Now, if you were being chased by a homicidal maniac with a machine gun, hey, this homicidal maniac was chasing me with a machete, you're probably gonna win. I'm putting on my mask here, so hopefully you can hear me with the mask on. There we go. Mask is on, and we can go into the museum. We're gonna head in here. Tiger loves it. So in honor of Tiger, we're going in. We're going in. There we go. It's gonna be really good light. Hopefully it's good sound. Uh-oh, come on. Come back here. We were members at the Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. Even though I haven't been there in 4 years, they still send me invitations to their special events. Let's get through here. It's quite busy here today. Normally not so busy. Now, when Tiger was real little, we would take him to the Disney Family Museum, and he would sit in front of this bank of video screens. Go. And he would watch Alice comedies. He'd watch them. I could leave him there for hours. And we didn't know he was going to be an artist back then. We just knew he really liked it. And a couple of weeks ago, I brought him over here. And he was standing in front of this display here for the skeleton dance and drawing in the air. That's called hyperlexy. And I filmed him so you can watch him drawing in the air. It's quite special. Let's go over here and check out some of these. What I would do at the Disney Family Museum is I would look at these displays and I would make a wish list of what to buy, what to collect. Okay, I figured if it's in the museum, it's good for us. And they've got a really big display. And we got quite a few things from the Disney Family Museum display. Now, one thing we do not have is a mouse car statue, and here's one right here. I don't know what that would go for if it was an auction. I'm guessing $25,000. I have seen them come up, and I just haven't bothered to bid. These are original maquettes. We bought, newer versions of these in the past for anywhere from $300 to $1,500 is what they sell for. And I'm not talking the WDCC figures, I mean a maquette. It's a more substantial, different type of material it's made from, different care when it's made, and also much lower editions number.
Here now is our same moonlight scene, the way the multiplane camera sees.
So over here he's talking about the multiplane camera, and
This is the plan
my
for a super
glasses are not doing very well here. They're trying to show you what the multiplane camera is like. They actually have a real multiplane camera
was how to take
at the
a
Disney
painting
Family Museum,
and make it behave
and it's
like a
2
real
stories.
piece of scenery on the
If you look at this picture over here, it's 2 stories.
The different elements in the scene were
Okay.
separated according to their varying distances.
And imagine Disney came up with that in 1937. Isn't that crazy? This is Buddy Ebsen, the dancing man prototype here. This is one of the first animatronics. So Buddy Ebsen, if you can read that placard right here, Buddy Ebsen was the person they filmed dancing. And if you don't know who Buddy Ebsen is, he's Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He was Chico and the Man. Or that's Jack Albertson. Wrong guy. Buddy Ebsen is Jed Clampett. There we go. You guys don't kill me about that one. Let's check out some more stuff here. So this is the record that they used for the Dancing Man, and I would liken this to the Meyer Day automaton that's at the Franklin Institute in Philly. I've been there a few times. We used to be members there at the Franklin Institute, and I actually have a full set of the drawings from the Meyer Day automaton. Mine are really low number, like 500. Now, if you had one that was made in 1910 or 1920, it's going to have a lower number than me, or it won't have a number. But proving its provenance is really hard, whereas you have one with a number, you know when it was made, and they only made, I don't know, 20,000 or something. But you imagine they were cranking these out. They were cranking these out with that poor automaton. Worked his arm off, but being made right now, they only do drawings for special occasions. And so my gimbal is trying to follow. Stop it. So Disney's idea for the audio animatronic is based somewhat on the Meyer Day automaton and other automatons. I love automatons. If I was filthy rich, I would buy a whole bunch of them. I would be the automaton master. And they have a bunch of animatronic figures. I think they're called Bourgeois figures or something like that. They were advertising things, and they're all themed. They were for like jewelry stores and whatnot. And if I was a rich man and these things go for 10, 15,000 a piece, I would be collecting those. Now we're not going to actually watch the Walt Disney cartoon or show. We're just going to wander out and finish circuit. But this has the feel of the Disney Family Museum. Now here's a original concept drawing for Disneyland. If you know me well, I have original 1958 Disneyland map, and it's framed really nice. I used to have an A map. The one I have in my office now is a B map, but it is the perfect, it's a folded edition, it's not rolled, but it's in perfect condition. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no pinholes, there's no marks and no creases, nothing. It is perfect map. And I love these maps. I remember about 8-9 years ago, I decided to get one, and I realized that the prices that they were going for on eBay were, in my opinion, way too low. So I started buying them up. and they were selling for 50 to 100 bucks for the 1958 B and C maps. If it was an A map, it would go for 500,000, maybe more. And the A map has got the Green Lagoon for the Jungle Cruise. That's how you can tell. And there we go. We're gonna wander outside. Anyway, I started buying them up. And if you bought a map off eBay at that time, you either bought it from me or you had to outbid me for it. So I was selling them for $200, $300, $400 a piece. So I would bid them up to $150 a pop. No, there were no bargains anymore. And if it was a really good one, I'd bid you up to $200. And what happens is after you do that for about a year and a half, people start thinking they're worth even more. They start saying, hey, that guy's getting $400, I want $500. And now they're going for $1,000 for a B map in really nice condition. That's ridiculous. But you can blame me for that. What can I get for my B map right now? I don't know, but I spent $500 to put it in a really nice frame. So I don't want to sell it without the frame. I have a 68 to 72 version of the 68 map. It is also a folded map in pristine condition. It is not worth as much as the 58 B map, but I still pay $500 for a really nice frame. The nice thing about these maps is they're all the same size, like 44 by 30. And if you had a really nice frame made for a 68 map, you can upgrade to a 58 B map and slap it in the same frame and sell your 68 map. And when you see a good deal on a 58 A map, snatch it up and stick it in the same frame. Now, we have owned a few 58 maps in the past. We've never had a great one. Remember a long time ago, a guy wanted like $2,500 for a really nice A map, but it was on a linen background. And that helps preserve it, but at the same time, it ruins the map. So the best one you can find would be a 58A rolled map with no marks, creases, anything like that. And I say, well, what do I mean by marks? Well, if you're a kid like I was, you get your Disneyland map and you would draw on it in pencil or pen where you've been. And so these maps oftentimes get all marked up. Reminds me of a book I once bought at a auction in Tennessee. It was online. You can find this on iGavel. That's where I bought it. And it was an old Disney book, like old Mickey Mouse book. It's like the first one they came out with. It's got Mickey Mouse playing guitar on the front with Minnie Mouse. And this book was in pristine condition, like it had never been opened, except a kid had taken a pencil and drawn in the outline of Mickey Mouse and a couple other little things in pencil. Not real hard, not real dark, but it's there. Otherwise, pristine condition. I bought that lot of stuff. It wasn't just a book. I think there was a Lisette Gomes plate. There was an edition one of the Disneyland newspaper from '55. There was a little Snow White lamp. It wasn't worth anything. But I paid like $100 for this stuff. Had it shipped out to California, and I sold that book alone for $300. I probably sold the Lisette Gomes plate for $400. The Disneyland newspaper for $200. And what was in the lot? Oh yeah, 2 Pinocchio Christmas cards from 1939, original in one envelope. And I still have those. And I wondered, as we're at the House and Mouse show, I was talking to her, I said, I don't know why nobody's bought these things from me. I can't sell them. And then I looked them up on our eBay, and guess what? They're not listed for sale. So that's why I've never sold my 1939 Pinocchio Disney Christmas cards. But I got 2, and I bought them in a lot of stuff. I mean, they said what was in the lot. And I paid like $100. And if you go online to these auction sites, you can find good deals. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to be persistent and look and find stuff. I think the first Disney auction we did was in North Carolina. And we bought stuff from Live Auctioneers, that website. And I spent about $13,500. I got over 300 WDCC figures. Those are the ones in the green box. One of the things I got was a Cinderella's coach that I bought for. I don't want to. And those things, you know, if they're in great condition, got the box and all that, they go for $2,000 right now, easy. We've had a few Cinderella coaches in the past. And I have to say this, every time we've had one shipped through the UPS store, they've broken. Which I don't care because I still get paid, but my customer's mad, they're sad. The last one was a disaster for us. I bought it in New Jersey for $500. It did not have a box, and the UPS, they damaged it, and I submitted all the paperwork to UPS. Normally it was $4. Okay? And stores don't processing UPS insurance claims, because if they have a claim, it raises the rates they get charged. And this store refused to file the claim. And I would talk to UPS, and they'd say, you have to go through the store. And I said, the store's not filing the claim. I'm going to file the claim. And they said, but you have to go through the store. Well, I lived in California. The store was in New Jersey. I can't go in there and make them do it. And then once a year had passed, UPS said, well, now it's too late. Too late to file a claim. I said, I started the claim a year ago. They said, well, the statute of limitations is expired. You missed your chance. And so we got hosed. So that's something that we haven't experienced before and not since. But it's very unfortunate. I can't believe they treated us that way. This is the Smugglers Run Entrance. They got a single rider line. If you can, I suggest you get in it. Standby says 70 minutes. We never wait 70 minutes. And we like to go up there and go with Tiger, and we draw in the chess room. Okay? All right, so my gimbal is loving Star Wars Land. Is trying to track somebody here. Stop doing that. Track where I'm going, not people walking around. So yeah, that auction in North Carolina, we didn't just get WDCC figures. Mostly it was that. I think I got 1 or 2 big figs and some other items. And man, oh man, we were selling stuff left and right. It was outrageous how popular this stuff was. We really didn't know. My wife was in Thailand with Tiger at the time. And I just wanted something to do for a hobby. So, and I had Disney boxes all over, shelves installed in my garage.
The pilot on the right goes
Like,
down.
hired a contractor friend of mine, paid him $1,000 to build these nice heavy duty shells that were, I think they were 24 inches deep. And hundreds of boxes in there, and I had to organize them all, you know, write numbers, locations on the shelves, so that we're going to go through Ronto Roasters again. See, this is why I don't like these. This person's new, they don't know how to drive their thing, and they're causing trouble. So some of the things I bought were really cheap, and I don't think I really overpaid for anything. Some things were a lot easier to sell than others. Let me see. I bought the whole Main Street Electrical Parade, and you say, "Wow, you got that whole set." I think I paid $500, and you say, "Wow, that's a good deal." I also got the Hitchhiking Ghost from Haunted Mansion in the same lot. I think that was $500 I paid. And those pieces from the Main Street Electrical Parade, I think there's 7 of them. And we probably sold the whole thing, parted it out. Probably got $3,000 or more for it. Another thing I got was I bought every Small World figure they had. They sold them in lots of 5 or 6. My wife is a really big Small World fan. So I bought them all. And we still have the one from Thailand. But I bought all of them. And I was paying for 5. I was bidding like $200, $225 for 5 of those figures. And each of them sold for $100, $200, $300. Some of them were a little bit more expensive than that. And it really worked out well. They were selling the figures, grouped into whatever cartoon it was. So the Peter Pan set I bought, I don't remember what I paid, a few $100s, and we parted that out. Probably got a couple grand for it.
Yeah, I used to like to go to the commissary.
Some of the figures are expensive. I didn't get them. I mean, I got a choke point. If I thought a figure's worth $1,000 and it sold for $500, well, good luck to you, because that's $500 plus it says 120 minutes now, standby time here at Rise of the Resistance. And the lightning lane is right here, so you can walk right into the lightning lane. But like I said, once you get to the merge, you're gonna wait with everybody else. Lightning lane doesn't get you on the ride. Now, you don't want to miss those pre-shows. All I'm saying is they're gonna make Tiger wait 110 minutes, 120 minus 10 or 110 minutes, and then wait through all those pre-shows. And a normal person is only going to wait 120 if that number is correct. And that is an ADA violation. What do those pre-shows take? 30 minutes? So if Tiger waits 110 plus 30 or 140 minutes, but all these people in line here are only waiting 120, how's that fair to Tiger? That's all I'm asking is, how is that fair? Now, if they want to post a time that says this much time to the merge and this much time after the merge, and it's an accurate time, and they want to give Tiger a DAS return time based upon that, fine. I'm okay with that. I want it to be treated like everybody else. Okay? And if they want to get rid of their DAS program, I'm fine with that. I want Tiger to be treated like everybody else, not worse. The whole emphasis here is don't treat Tiger worse than other people. Now, we hope in the future Tiger's going to get a Disney Plus show, and you'll see the Autistic Tiger for sale here at Disney. And we hope that they give him a lifetime pass and lifetime lightning lane and all that kind of stuff. But this isn't just about Tiger. If there's a lawsuit, it'll be a class action suit, not just us individually. And we'll see how many people we can get signed up. You know, it's what the lawyers do is they go and they advertise around the country and sign people up to be plaintiffs in this class action. And once they get enough people and the class gets certified by the judge, then the case will move forward. And this is not something Disney's going to want to fight because they're going to lose. They're going to lose badly. And it would be a PR debacle for them. Now, when they fought, this is Star Tours. I remember when this opened at Disneyland, park was open for 3 days straight. And we're from the Redwoods. I tell you what, redwood trees don't stop at the top like that, and they don't have lights coming out the back. But I saw a video on YouTube that said the time Disneyland was open for 3 days straight, and they're talking about Star Tours grand opening. Well, you know, a few months before they had Captain EO Premiere Weekend that me and my friends went to, and it was open for 3 days straight previously. I think the line was 6 hours to see Captain EO. And if you saw it, you got a t-shirt. Now, I didn't get that t-shirt. I wasn't willing to wait in line. Now, I had a bunch of friends that got the t-shirt. They waited in line. I said, you waited 6 hours? And they said, oh, no, it was 6 hours. We cut the line. I said, oh, how long did you wait? They said 4 hours. Now, obviously, I was the only engineer in my dorm, but they weren't engineers, because if you're going to cut the line and you're going to take that kind of a risk, you know, make it worthwhile. Cut the line half hour, 15 minutes into the line, and we're still backed up really far. Don't go into, you know, Captain EO in Tomorrowland. Don't go to Jungle Cruise and hop in the line over there. That's dumb. So, anyway, I don't want to have a lawsuit or anything. We want to be everything happy with Disney. But I feel like somebody needs to address. I really am defensive of Tiger. I feel that he needs to be treated not better than other people, but the same. And it's really hard. You know, even on YouTube, people say Tiger's videos would be much more popular if he would do a voiceover while he's drawing his picture. I said, yeah, but that's the problem with Tiger. He doesn't talk. Tiger can talk. He doesn't. And here's Indiana Jones that opened a couple weeks ago, I think. I don't know when the first show is. Maybe an hour. So yeah, Tiger can talk, but he doesn't. A conversation, he's not going to respond, or he might repeat what you're saying, which is called echolalia, and we're going to do a video on that before too long. I love Dinosaur Gertie. Get my ice cream here. We're going to do a video here at Dinosaur Gertie's. So I've seen little kids try to talk to Tiger, and I go, hey, Tiger, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Tiger doesn't respond at all because it's gibberish. It's like talking to your dog. Your dog doesn't know what you're saying. And Tiger just ignores them, which is when they did the psychological testing. Tiger questions, basic language that I know he understands. And I'll ask him, Tiger, are you hot? Yes or no? And if I couch things into a binary yes or no, I will get a response. I will get a response. Even if he's not sure how to answer, he's going to respond yes or no. If I say, Tiger, are you hot? He might answer, he might not. If I said, how do you feel? His answer is always going to be good. Tiger rarely I've asked him before, how do you feel? And he's had tears streaming down his face. And Tiger said, I feel happy. And he's bawling his eyes out. But even though he's crying, his emotion at that time is he feels happy. And that's something everybody should take a lesson from. That even though you're having something that's causing you to be upset, you don't have to be upset. You know, people tell me when I get upset, oh, you're choosing to be upset. And, well, they're right, but that's a really hard thing to control. Tiger is an interesting little boy. If he gets punched in the face, he won't cry, he won't tell anybody. Oh, they're having that cavalcade again. I see Chip and Dale and Mickey Mouse. Well, we'll wait and we'll watch this come by. Let me go up here to a better spot. Get in the shade. Being in the shade is always better. See how Tiger doesn't cry. I mean, if he's really hurt, he won't cry. His brother cut his face one time. Blood streaming everywhere. Tiger's crying. And he won't tell us what happened. Say, what happened, Tiger? Tiger's not saying anything. He's doing what Tiger does best. And on the other hand, sometimes Tiger will get a little blister on his finger and he'll scream and he'll want a Band-Aid or something. But a few months ago, he got stung by a bee. We didn't know what was wrong. And he wouldn't tell us. Here's Donald. Hey, Donald. You got to be really short to be Donald. Or Mickey, for that matter. Hey, Mickey. I don't know how many Mickey Mouses there are. There's Mickey Mouse's Secret Service. There you go. Let's put it this way. In Disney World, they have 4 parks. They've got the resorts. They got Disney Springs. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen. Wide, like the lights in the countryside. Tiger loves this song. We're practicing that. Practicing this song and the song from Two Caballeros. So hopefully we'll do a video soon where he's singing those for everybody. We're trying to get him to talk. So if you get him to sing a song and he talks. There you go. There's Alf. I've seen him before. Today, well, I forgot what here to the crossroads, and I think we're going for about an hour and a half, which isn't so bad. Probably did about 5 miles, an hour and a half, maybe 4 miles. Then I go home and do some work. So Tiger, he doesn't complain. If he has a big problem, he won't complain. If it's a little problem, he'll complain. And he wants a Band-Aid, and Band-Aids, evidently, they solve every problem. So, anyway, he's a peculiar little boy, and we love him, and we protect him, and we just want the best for him. We want whatever other people are getting. We just want Tiger to be able to get the same thing.
It was terrible.
And I'm going to flip this around so you can see me. Got to stop so I can push the button. There you go. Well, anyway, that's it for today. It was nice to hang out with you today at Hollywood Studios, and I'll see you tomorrow.